Hello there. My name is Molly, and I serve as the pastor at a Mighty Fortress Lutheran Church here in the Coolwood area of Charlotte. I just graduated from seminary about 2-ish years ago now, and this is my first congregation that I'm serving out of seminary. I've had a great 2 years here, and I'm looking forward to continuing God's call here within this congregation. But it is great to be able to bring you this message today, especially amongst all the uncertainty around us. When I look at the world around us, it seems like there is so much darkness creeping in. People are sick and dying because of this virus, and our lives are changing right before our eyes. We haven't had church services here at a Mighty Fortress in over 4 months. And I can't recall a time in my life when I've ever missed that much church. It is really quite crazy. Things aren't as they used to be, with all the new precautions and cleaning procedures and people losing their jobs and social distancing and stores and restaurants closed, and the list goes on and on and on. Darkness. That's what I see when I look around. But that was also what was seen at the very beginning of creation. In the very first verse of the Bible, in Genesis 1, we read, "In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep." Darkness. That's all that there was. There was no escaping it. It just was. If we keep reading, though, we read in verse 2, "While a wind from God swept over the face of the waters." So there was this deep, heavy darkness. And there was God. God was there amongst this darkness. We read all together. "The earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters." God understands darkness. God is not removed from darkness, just like we read here at the very beginning of creation, which is really good news for us today, because it means that we are not alone in this darkness. God is with us in our darkness. God is present here. God is present there. God is present with you. And God is everywhere. And though it may seem like God is removed during this time, God makes God's self present to us even in our darkness. And God understands this darkness because in Jesus, God must have felt that deep darkness on the cross. On the night of Jesus' own crucifixion, darkness also covered the face of the earth, just like we read here in Genesis. God has felt pain and suffering, so God can connect with us in our own pain and suffering. God isn't light years away, somewhere far, far off, looking down at us in our darkness. Instead, God is here with us. And if we keep reading in this Genesis passage, which it's very important to do, we read, "And God said, 'Let there be light.' And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness God called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the very first day." So light did come out of this darkness eventually. The darkness didn't last. The darkness didn't overcome. And I have faith that light will still shine out of our darkness, somehow, in some way. So though it may seem like the world is falling apart all around us, though it may seem like we never will get back to normal, though we miss how things used to be, though there is a lot of darkness, know that God is with you in your darkness. I pray that you are able to feel God's presence with you today. Thanks be to God. Amen.